there I am fucking scrolling across it every day. It's got me.
And then we follow you back and forth, and Instagram's grabbed us in the algorithm.
They know. We get caught up in the algo, and then next thing you know, I'm getting, gym pics with fucking chicks with booty shorts on and shit. So like 1.5 million views, and I'm like, yeah, the tile is of a chick in shorts, and the shorts are like jammed into her ass crack, and she has a juicy ass. Of course, 1.5 million fucking people are gonna watch this.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Yes, once again, or very possibly for the first time.
Yeah, we were just discussing right up until the edge of the song that this might be the earliest that have we ever recorded pre-lunch? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. This is the morning shock jock.
This is the morning. Yeah, we're in the drive. We're in the drive hour, afternoon drive. We have recorded early in the morning, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. back in the day, but nothing in the daylight hours. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe we probably should have a cup of Joe with us, and should we work on some traffic and weather
right now?
Traffic and weather updates, Cerny.
72 degrees.
80 eastbound's not looking good. Hang-ups at Fairfield and Davis, and your normal spots. The Bay Bridge seems to have traffic like it does every fucking day.
You're going in a hurry. Don't take the Bay Bridge. It is congested.
I don't know who is like, hold on, everyone shut up in the car. The fucking traffic update's coming on. Let me see what's like. There's enough CarPlay. There's enough Apple Maps, Google Maps. It tells you what you. There's no. Yeah. And you happen to not be paying dialed in 100%, and you sort of glaze over the like 2-second update they give about the one highway or freeway that you're on, and you're out of luck.
Yeah. Like, oh no.
So anyway, but here we are as usual, bringing the heat, as winter comes upon us. Halloween done and dusted. Do we have
oh man.
Do you have Christmas decorations up already, Cern?
Oh no, it's all I got an inflatable turkey outside right now. It's all I was corrected. Fall decorations. That's what.
Oh,
leaves and pumpkins and.
Okay, so not a smash cut right to Christmas, but there's a transitional period. Yeah,
which I'm sure you've seen all those. It's the memes are out right now where it's like, why does my husband hate decorating? It's like he has to carry all the fucking boxes of shit. That was exactly it.
I know we had the same thing. There was some Halloween decorations. I do appreciate you get a little bit extra life out of the pumpkin, but the Halloween fall sort of like Venn diagram, the middle part, it's like a sliver. There's not a lot like ghosts and spiders and cobwebs don't go into fall. It's pretty much only pumpkins.
Yeah. Pumpkins and like autumn leaves. And
can you put like a pilgrim hat on your giant skelly 12-foot skeleton?
Oh, I broke him down.
Oh man. I have been seeing on Reddit a lot these neighbors that are leaving notes. It's like November 3rd and they're leaving notes on their neighbor. They're like, oh, I got a note from my neighbor. It's like, take these satanic decorations down this Halloween, the glowing eyes, you're scaring children, and like tons of misspellings and just like horrible grammar and shit. I'm like, I'd fucking leave that shit up.
Yeah, if I got a note like that, I would double down.
Oh,
I'd probably go to Home Depot, buy off the clearance rack with the clearancing out, and just double them up.
I would be doubling down. I would get a fucking Abraham Lincoln hat and a big old beard and make Skelly look like a pilgrim, and then I turn him into Santa for Christmas, so he would be up.
Somebody actually does that in this neighborhood. Oh, over by my grandma.
Oh,
he builds up Skelly, and he leaves that fucker up until
I like it.
He did last year. It rolled into he was dressed like Santa, and then it rolled into he left it up to like he was fucking Cupid.
Whoa! Oh man, he's got a lot of legs on that thing.
It was up like 6 months. I was like, all right, I like it.
That might be a bit. That might be a bit much, bit aggressive.
Yeah,
I like the Santa. Would it be hard to would you have to take him down, get him dressed, and then put him back up, or can you kind of finagle him up there?
I think the tall enough ladder, you could probably do it.
Okay, tall enough ladder. Yeah,
I just broke him down. It was over. Took it all, put it all up in the little attic thing I have in my garage.
Yeah, I was up in the attic too. We had these styrofoam gravestones, and it was here, whatever. And we had some ones. My mother-in-law goes to Dollar Tree, which I fucking hate that store. I don't. It provides pretty much all it gives you is just junk that fucking breaks in less than a week. If it's a toy, it's a piece of shit. If it's decoration, it's a piece. Everything from it is just a piece of shit from Dollar Tree.
I only use it for
candy,
stationary stuff like candy. Candy is that's the spot. And if you go with me, I have to get pens or something like that, like a Bic pen or something. Yeah, that's fine.
Totally, that stuff. But so we get these styrofoam gravestones from there, and they blow over in the wind. The kids are roughhousing around them, kicking soccer balls into them like they're goals, so they're broken half and everything.
Used to use them like the WWE folding chair. Smack it over there.
It's breaking it over top people's heads. But our neighbor who had kids, but they're all grown and left the house, he kind of did a little JV Halloween thing. He had these, but this year he saw we put some stuff up, and he brought over his decorations to give to us. Now these are proper. I think he made these proper headstone. It's probably 3 feet tall and everything. But now I realized I'm he just offloaded this on us because now I have to take these and store these giant styrofoam headstones up in my attic. And then I had the attic ladder down. I'm like, well, if I had this down, should I just bring the Christmas stuff down before I and of course I'm just putting the Halloween stuff up there, so I'm gonna have to take it and rearrange it when I get the Christmas shit in. I fucking did it to myself.
So
I know it.
I have the same thing. So I have my left side when I go up in the attic with the ladder is Christmas, and the right side's Halloween. So I slide everything to one side and I slide it. So
Smart.
That's how I ordered. Because I did the first time I did it. It was I bring every fucking box down. I couldn't remember which one was which.
I know, and half the shit up there is not. Yeah, and we. But the kids
there was a flashlight because I don't light. It's like an argument with the wife because she's like, "Well, what does this say?" I was like, "I can't fucking see."
It's like, do you want me to label it too? Get a label, baby label maker junior, on that thing. But yeah, we have stuff up there. But last night, my daughter's like, "Can we put on some Christmas music?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, here it comes."
It's game.
It's already started. Mariah Carey she's started unthawing herself.
She's come up from the grave.
Yes. Now is her time to shine for the next 90 days. 60 days probably, max.
Yeah.
Retire her. But she's probably making bank off that Spotify.
I'm sure the royalties on that one.
Oh, yeah. Every Christmas movie in the last 10 years is licensing that thing.
Yeah, you see these, like the Modern Family, they're like, I haven't seen her really act in anything since then. You see what they make in royalties. You're like, yeah, I wouldn't do a fucking thing. I was
right. You just exist and you're just collecting fat syndication checks. Oh. Yeah, same thing with the Seinfeld folks and Friends. Rip.
They're making a couple million or so. A year just on royalties. I wouldn't do it. I would be lazy as fuck.
Absolutely. We did have what was that guy's name? Perry.
Matthew Perry?
Yeah,
Matthew Perry, yeah.
Kicked it.
Yeah, I know he was struggling, I guess, for
I guess he had some addiction problems.
I guess he had it during the show too. I'm not really sure. It was sad, but
the spa death is a little. What? I mean, I've been in spas before. I get sometimes you're like, oh, it's kind of getting hot. Especially if you're like, you're doing the thing where the water's like up to your fucking bottom lip.
Yeah.
Where you're just like totally submerged.
It's a signature move when it's like, because we'll get in there. It's like, oh, it's cold outside. And we'll run in there. And I'm like, down, solely submerged. I'm like,
you're like, eyes, you got goggles on and shit. Fucking snorkel. So, I get that you're like, oh, it's a little bit lightheaded. But then I kind of get up. I do something about it. I guess that could just overwhelm you and you could just pass out. And if you pass out in the spa, you're done.
I'm going to assume there's some sort of sleeping pill or muscle relaxer or something that may have attributed that. I don't know.
That was my assumption as well. I'm not saying he was like fucking on 10 Quaaludes or anything, but
no.
Something.
I mean, my initial thought when they said he drowned, I was like, oh, what the way Whitney Houston? That was
the gravy boat.
That was what my first thought, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate, regardless of his demise, but I'm sure he sold lots of copies of his book. Came out earlier this year.
He is trending big time.
He's trending, but he paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, I know. If I'm trending and collecting some cash, I'd hope to be alive to collect it.
Yes, be like, oh, this is great for my estate that I didn't have quite properly planned out on that front. And then it's always, I'm not saying he wasn't friends with the Friends people, but they're always trying to get quotes and like, oh, how are you feeling? It's like, hey, when one of your coworkers dies that you work with for like 3 years, like people don't, they're just, they were actually friends, but also they could have just been working together.
I always like, I mean, it drives me nuts, but like I'm seeing it, you're seeing it more and more where like these journalists will like want to get in and like ask the questions, it's like, well, how are you feeling? It's like, I saw this clip where like some lady reporter asked Snoop Dogg, like, how are you feeling about some kind of loss or something? He's like, how the fuck do you think I feel? Don't come up and ask me this stupid fucking question. Like, finally somebody said it. Finally somebody said it.
Right. Oh, someone that you were close to died. How do you feel? You know what? I've never felt better. I am on the top of the world, right? Like that's not the response that you're normally getting. But we'll talk about the Israel Pakistan conflict next. One thing that, speaking of being triggered, is these. We volley these back and forth on the Instagram. I'm convinced this is a actual quote unquote style of video that's like rage bait cooking.
Oh yeah.
And there's the guy that's like, oh, my stomach's bubbling. And then there's the chef. I really like the chef reaction guy. He's like you can tell he's like a hardened kitchen chef, and he just gives the real fucking talk on what they're making. But it's these food abominations of
like it
has to be fake, right? Like no one, and they're putting in usually those like catering tin.
Yeah, those tins. Yeah, I saw this guy.
It's horrible.
The guy I sent you before.
Yes.
Super Ray.
Yeah, Super Ray.
14K.
Yeah.
My wife was getting on me. She's because I sit there and laugh when he starts talking to y'all. Shit. She's like, "Why do you watch people cook nasty shit and then listen to people yell about it?" I was like, "I don't know," because it just.
Just let me enjoy this. It's the same thing that we were talking about the youth watching the streamers on Twitch or YouTube. It's our version of it, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I mean, there was one where he was like, "That's it," because they had like the tin. He got those catering tins. He's like, "That's it. You need to have there needs to be a law. You need to have a fucking license to buy this. I'm tired of these people making this shit."
And they'll take they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna make: spaghetti and meatballs, and then they'll just slide one of these tins into the camera, and it's like an overhead camera shot. And as soon as you see the tin slide in, you're like, this is already gonna go sideways. And like
they're gonna throw everything in there that cooks at different rates, and
it's just they're like, oh, here we put the pasta noodles down first, and then there's always so much cheese and cheese related products.
God.
Oh, we're gonna put in cream, and they put in cream, and they put on shredded cheese, and then they're like squirting out Velveeta, and then they put more cheese on, and then they open cheese packets.
I saw
for mac
one
and
where
cheese.
they were doing it in the Super 8. It was like, I feel bad for the plumber because you're gonna have to hold on for dear life when you're on the toilet. Because what the fuck?
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, here's ground beef, and then they'll put bacon, and then they just are layering, and then there's another layer of cheese, and then when they slide it out, they're like, oh, it looks so good. I'm not joking. It looks like fucking diarrhea. Like someone shit diarrhea into the pan,
always.
and they're like, oh, it's so good.
Or when they mix it all together with their hands and shit, you're like, what the hell are you doing?
One, how I know it's fake is there's ones that they like purposely get their dog close, and the dog's like kind of like licking in, or they'll pass stuff to the dog, and they're like, oh, get out of here, and the dog's like licking the spoon or something. It's just, or they're mixing it with their hands. It's just, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Like, why?
So that's those things have been triggering me, but I also really enjoy the
commentary,
the commentary on it for some reason.
Somebody, the one I can't stop laughing at is like, somebody take this man's kitchen. If he sells the house, it don't come with a kitchen. That one.
It's so good. I saw one that was just, they took a can of Pringles, and then they like smashed the Pringles can up, and then they put something inside the Pringles, like a mac and cheese, and they kind of like shook it up, and then they put the Pringles can in the oven and baked it. They're like, bake on 315 for like 40 minutes. I'm like, 40 fucking minutes? I'm like, this thing is going to be like a pipe bomb, basically, that you're making. And then they're like, oh, look. And they turn it upside down, and it literally slid out like a fucking cheese-colored turd.
Like it's going to come out later on in the evening if you eat that.
It's just brutal. Oh, but there I am fucking scrolling across it every day. It's got me.
And then we follow you back and forth, and Instagram's grabbed us in the algorithm.
They know. We get caught up in the algo, and then next thing you know, I'm getting, gym pics with fucking chicks with booty shorts on and shit. So like 1.5 million views, and I'm like, yeah, the tile is of a chick in shorts, and the shorts are like jammed into her ass crack, and she has a juicy ass. Of course, 1.5 million fucking people are gonna watch this.
It just comes up like, what the hell is this?
This is like, oh, let me see, what do I want to watch? Some random dude's face or this fucking juicy ass right here? I'll look at the juicy ass.
It's like a tractor beam right for the eyes.
Yes. The bet I do like for myself on that is like OnlyFans or no OnlyFans. When you see those ones, I'm like, oh yeah, and they're like, oh, subscribe to my OnlyFans. Yeah. I'm like, yes. I don't know what my winning percentage is on that, but it's up there. It's up there.
I do. Speaking of kitchens, I went over this last weekend and help our good buddy Joe put in a new sink.
Oh, how did that go? Is he doing a fancy upgrade or just a rip and replace type of thing?
He was doing an upgrade. So he had his garbage disposal was out. So while it was out, his wife thought, let's might as well replace the sink while we're at it.
Whilst you're under there, might as well.
Yeah, might as well. And he had a two-sided sink, with a garbage disposal on it, and then she just wanted to go into one big sink, like we have here.
Okay, I have the two right now. I will say, part of me enjoys the segregation of it, but the cleaning of one side's never as clean as the other. I'll just say that.
No, and we have the one big sink now. That's Robin wanted it. So Joe was, hey, I think you know how to do this. I was like, yeah. Unfortunately,
yeah,
I've done a few sinks in my day, so it actually went pretty smooth.
Oh, nice.
I got it underneath the sink, disconnected everything.
Did Joe get his cock out? Or
he offered, but I told him later on.
Nice. You're under the sink and Joe just fucking swinging his ball bag right over your face. That would be great. Is there been any advancements in garbage disposal technology?
It's the same, like Incinerator. It's the same fucking one. So
now, from my understanding, you're not supposed to be. Well, through learning, I have discovered you don't put your your food scraps and let the garbage. It's not like the fucking that worm thing in Return of the Jedi. It's like food scraps should just go in the garbage, right?
Yeah, I usually don't. I don't like this stuff. Well, I yell about it all the time because at home,
kids,
it is treated like the garbage packer in Star Wars, where you just throw everything down there.
Yeah,
and then whose hands got to go in there and fish all the shit out? Mine. So I yell about it.
It's always making me nervous.
Don't throw the grapes down. Yeah, so ever since Final Destination, I don't want to stick my hand down.
I'm like, it's always. I'm like staring at the switch. I'm like, don't stare too hard because some fucking mind power might flick it on, and I'm losing some fingers. Yeah. So there's no new technology with the.
I mean, it's
garbage
quieter.
disposal.
It's not as loud.
Okay.
We got it humming. Although they don't even come with at least the one he got. And I talked to my dad, and it seems to be the way it goes now. They don't even come with the fucking plug. You have to buy a plug separately. So I just pulled it off of the old.
Buy a plug?
Yeah, because you got to plug them into the underneath the sink. There's a plug. Yeah, it didn't come with one. There was no plug.
But there's a hole to put one end of the cord in.
Yeah, you got to wire it. You got to wire them.
Hardwire that shit.
And then you got to hardwire the plug in, and then you plug it into the wall.
Damn.
So I was like, it doesn't come with that. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, we'll just use the old one. It's just copper wires. We're good.
Yeah. Don't tell a fucking tweaker you got copper wire under there. They'll be out there to rip that shit out. So we got a nice one sink.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting about it? Did you get new fixtures whilst you're in there?
No, he reused some of his other fixtures because they were still good. I think he replaced it. He has like a bottle washer and stuff. So we got that all hooked up.
Ooh, bottle washer.
Yeah, he's got a little.
Don't hate that. Like the bartenders or the Starbucks.
Yeah, for baby bottles, but it still works.
Nice. That's pretty slick. Now, one thing I don't agree with on the sink, they give you the fucking soap dispenser. I'm like, who is going under the sink and refilling the soap to get the hand pump? Fuck that. No, nobody's doing that shit. Nobody.
Yeah. We did. He has a sprayer, the sink, the faucet itself, and then he has the bottle washer, and that's what we hooked up.
Nice.
So we were all
looking good.
We set it up. Didn't even take that long, actually. It probably took us about
2 hours.
About 2 hours, yeah.
Oh,
popped it out.
Good.
That was kind of just, not going at breakneck speed. Just popped it out, horsing around, talking,
having a couple
of little
lattes.
Yeah, they were there, nice and cold. He texted me. I got some lattes in the fridge. Cool them down. I was like, I already anticipated that one.
Yes, that's. Don't worry, I was already on the docket. Nice, that's good. Garbage disposal, new sink. Things are looking up.
You got it going on. No leaks.
That's good. It's the worst.
I did. So I hooked everything up, kind of with the sink up first, because he had enough slack in his
countertop
pipes. Yeah, it's so I can hook them up without having to go underneath it. So I can get them tight and turn the water on. I just turned them on to make sure there was no leak. I didn't know my elbow would pump the faucet on.
Oh,
so I turned everything on and it's like running down the drain. Like, oh shit! Oh no! Oh shit!
Trying to catch it with your hands. Oh,
like, whoops! Got a
towel. Well, Joe has plenty of things to get rid of water in his house, since he is unfortunately a victim of flooding on a regular basis.
Yeah, he was lamenting that to me. It's like I should, because I guess when we were all done, his dad had showed up to check our, as an inspector.
Check your work.
Yeah. And was getting on Joe about, I told you when you went to buy this house, don't buy anything below street level. It's like, Joe's like, never again. Never again.
Joe's house is going to be on a fucking mountaintop. The top of the hill is where he's buying the opposite next time. Next time on that front. Nothing like some good retro hindsight advice from dad to help.
Especially since he told you, pre-purchase that it was a bad idea, and now it's your nightmare. And
now it's I told you so.
You'll never forget. You'll never.
Was this on Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay. Because the Seahawks got blown the fuck out by the Ravens, and I was surprised it was relatively quiet on the group chat. Maybe, and the Niners had a bye, so maybe they just were tuned out to the football. But now I thought, maybe on Sunday he was distracted.
No, it was. He texted me some shit about the Rams second or something, but that was just offline to me.
They got a new backup quarterback. I saw.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Oh wow. Is that Pete's brother? We need some more singer star power. Let's get Pete Wentz's brother. Let's have him throwing balls around.
Carson Wentz was the number 2 pick behind Jared Goff the year the Rams drafted Jared Goff.
Oh.
But he is by the Eagles, but he has since had some difficult injury issues and then some quarterback play issues, and he's decent enough. He's decent enough, but he's good for like the player. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
And we have really had a good time, you and I, sending back the Niners have not been having a good go of it, which always trends.
And they have a tough game this week. They got to go to Jacksonville, play the Jaguars. Jaguars 6-2.
But there was some memes attacking Brock Purdy and the Niners, which I sent to Cerny just based on the meme. But then there's a whole other level of Instagram that's the comment section, which sometimes the best fucking lofts come from the comments. And this one was just reinforcing what drives us nuts about Niners fans. And they're like, oh, well, clearly you didn't watch the game because just getting all bent out of shape.
Just so bent out of shape over it. It's always like the little shit. It's like, okay,
it was a gif of this kid like throwing the ball up in the air to try to quote unquote pass it to himself, and then he's running, and he whatever, it didn't happen, and he fucking ran into the side of his house. And it was like, oh, Brock Purdy, blah blah blah, and I was like, they just get so bent out of shape. It was so great.
They act like you personally attacked their mom or something. It's like
yeah,
it's so mad.
They're just beating up on someone when they're down and out in the football. But now we entered the depressing no baseball era time frame of the season, which is
and now we're subject to, and I don't know, I get a lot of the push notifications from MLB of
the winter meetings.
The winter meetings and up their predictions. Everyone gets to predict where everyone's going. I mean, of course, the Dodgers might as well just sign half the fucking, according to them,
half the free agents. They're going there.
The top 10 going to LA. That's according to them.
Yeah, and what was the one, the big one, the Shohei Ohtani is on the market, but I think he's only going to be a hitter this next year because he had
because he had a Tommy John
elbow.
He had some sort of surgery in his elbow.
But I hear the Cubs are making the push for it. But the Cubs also just got fucking David Ross, their manager or now ex-manager. He got done dirty. I will say there's a fucking dirty. It wasn't end of his contract or anything, but they just brought in Craig Counsell and was like,
I know. And then okay, thanks, by the way. And then, and it's always that statement, like, we want to thank David for the dedication. It's like, you just, fuck you.
Yeah. And some of these things are, and you hear these stories come out about players. They're like, oh, I didn't even know I was released until I saw it on Twitter. Like they're not even telling the player. They're just like,
or they got traded. They're like on the team plane, and they say, hey, you got to stay on the plane. And he's like, what? And you're like, oh, do you not look at, did you not call you? Like, no.
Fucking new agent, I guess. Yeah. But Craig Counsell was heading up the Brew Crew for the last bit, and that's his hometown and all this shit. I guess they're defacing some of his, the local, Craig Counsell Park, like someone's writing ass on the on the sign and shit. They're hating the Brew Crews. The Milwaukee folks are not happy about this, but
no. Yeah, but I mean, he got a fat contract. 5 years, $40 million. Like that. I saw the thing, but he's making more as a manager than he did as a player.
Yeah. You can't play him just based on that stupid fucking stance he had.
I know.
It's like, stop it with this ridiculous stance. Didn't he? He was the guy that was like, ooh, like had his hands way up above his thing. Yeah, stop it. It's ridiculous.
Giants got a new manager, Bob Melvin.
Yeah, he seems to be good, and all the Giant beat writers.
He's like a 3-time manager of the year or some shit like that. I mean,
yeah, he was over at the A's for a bit, which doesn't
time.
really speak to anything. And then,
well, he got decent results with the A's. I mean,
yeah,
I always felt bad for him. I was like, God, this guy has to play with a fucking minor league team, and anytime he had somebody good, they trade out from under him.
Olsen, see ya. I do. I mean, he still has the same. They need more players. They need better players because they can't expect lipstick on the same fucking pig and different results on this front. But
the problem that basically the Giants owner is like one of the wealthiest owners in baseball. But he said, "Dude, I'm gonna open a checkbook. He's let me know. I'll fucking write the check." He might not. He probably won't have to take a loan out for $50 million to pay his payroll like San Diego did.
I saw that. That was not short-term loan. I'm like, they went to like a check cashing place to fucking pay Soto and all these guys. It's not good.
Oh man.
I mean,
so
you're operating in a. I don't know what.
Not a good look with not even making the playoffs.
It's not a good look. I mean, their stadium's cool. I've been to their stadium. They got some cool, City Connect jerseys. They got Tatis Jr., but they brand that guy just to be a fucking idiot for most of the time anyway.
Yeah, he won the Gold Glove too. Made me wonder.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see Shohei going to the Cubs. I mean, I get why people like the Cubs, but I don't. Nothing excites me about them. Probably because I'm not from Chicago. Or I'm not into this like loser. Just being a loser.
A lovable loser, yeah.
Yeah, lovable losers.
And I don't know. I mean, all the predictions I see, and it's predictions, so you don't know.
Right.
I mean, everyone's always having a theory, but I mean, the Reds could come in there and back a Brinkship up to his fucking front door, and
everyone's got their number. Everyone's got the number.
Yeah, that's always the thing that everyone's always like, oh, I would never go. Yeah, well, if they offered you $700 million, I would be fucking signing. I don't give a shit if it was the A's. I would sign.
The A's would be I heard some hearsay and rumors about Bellinger maybe going to the Giants.
Yeah, he's on their list. He's on their hit list.
Boy,
he had a great year. So,
but this is a comeback. Didn't he win comeback player of the year? I think this season.
Oh yeah, because he was. I mean, with the
he
Dodgers,
was hot guard for a while,
and then he went to the Cubs and was batting like 300, whatever, close to.
But now he's like, hold on, you're gonna sign Ohtani and then get rid of me? Like, I want to play with this guy. I want to play with Craig Counsell, silly batting stance manager. But yeah, I mean, there's a wealth of pitching talent out on the market.
There is.
Grab a couple of those arms.
You know what's interesting? I see like on ESPN and stuff, the little times I have them on there, they have like a whole like betting section where they talk about like the spreads and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell? It's so weird to me because remember, never talk about the spreads or stuff,
Oh yeah. And
maybe it was like
literally people are
favorite.
banned.
I mean, that's basically what it was. But now it's like they dive talking about,
talking about money
anytime. And, I'd put my money on this. It's like, what the hell?
Well, when DraftKings is like sponsoring so much, giving you so much money, you just have to change your programming they're like, hey, yeah, we'll give you X million dollars a year in ESPN sponsorship, but we need gambling to be at the forefront of your content.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, they even have now where it's like they always have the NFL scripted, but now it's like the NFL scripted against the spread and shit. Like last week I saw this guy. He placed a bet on the Texans. They were 2.5 point favorite over the fucking Buccaneers, and they went up by 2 with like 10 seconds or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of kicking the PAT, their kicker was hurt, so they just took a knee. So they didn't even go for 2. They didn't even try it. They did nothing. So it's like someone's like, "Fuck."
I have seen those. Those come in my algorithm sometimes too. These crazy fucking parlays where people are like 12 game parlay. They put down $25 to win like 50,000.
Yeah. And it's like I was on the last leg of my parlay. It's like,
rip. That's just a arena that I don't even want to get involved with because it seems like such a slippery slope to really be starting to go down.
It's always like
danger.
I've done parlays way back, just here and there where it's like $5 to win, whatever, 1,000, and it's always like, it's always one thing where it's like, because you need like 6 things to go right, and it's always
too much.
The one. It's always the last one too.
It's always the last one that you're gonna, for sure on that. So we have Scherzer. He's available. Is he? I don't know.
Is he available? He's going to be with the.
Oh, is he still with the Rangers?
Maybe. Yes, I think he is.
He's #washed up, according to the Chip and Cern show. I say
he's washed. Blake Snell is open.
Cy Young candidate. Did he win? Who won? Did he win the Cy Young?
I don't know.
Or is that coming out in the next day or two?
I think it's coming out the next day or two.
Okay. I see the Logan Webb of the Giants is a finalist, but that seems like I wouldn't count on that if I was the Webb camp.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. But
I think Sonny Gray's on the list. He's out there available.
Is he on the Reds?
He was, but he's on the Twins. The
Twins, okay. Nice.
And basically, he was good in Oakland, then he went to New York and was a bum, and then left New York. And
I feel like New York, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, even the one of the World Series pitching heroes for Texas, Jordan Montgomery, the Yankees didn't want him.
I wouldn't go to the Yankees just because the no facial hair thing. I like
it seems like it's even that whole area, like even Philadelphia. They were their beloved Phillies, and then they lose, and they're like,
they turned on them in like 2 games.
Yeah, they should never play baseball again. A bunch of old pussies. It's like, what the hell?
It's just a rough. Where's the? Just be good. If I was a player, most loving fan base. Just like who's the most loving fan base?
Well, I saw like this algorithm thing came up. It was like Mookie Betts talking to JD Martinez about because they both played in Boston. They play in LA. It's like, what's the difference? They're like, oh, LA, super chill. He says they'll be like, they're ecstatic when you win, and if you lose, they're like, "Oh, that's cool. We'll give them tomorrow. We're still good." But if you lose in Boston, they want to fucking kill you.
That is insane to me. That these players. I understand they have more free time on their hands than most people, but they're just like, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast too."
Oh yeah, like the Kelsey.
But it's all like,
they have a podcast. You're like, what the hell?
But it's like Mookie Betts isn't using fucking iMovie and editing that shit, and he like just pays some person to come over, and he's like, "Oh, I'm having these other pro players over.
Yeah,
Freddie Freeman's coming over. We're gonna shoot the shit. Yeah." It's like, yeah, that sounds like a good time.
You already got a following.
Yeah, it's like, hey, people are gonna like this, and they're doing all the right things on it. But it's what the I would argue that one Travis Kelce. His podcast has definitely helped keep his stardom high. Not as high as the Taylor Swift boost, but...
yeah, and they had a whole Kelsey documentary and stuff. And I didn't watch it. I saw it advertised. I was like, I don't need to watch the Kelseys. I don't care.
Yeah. The Taylor Swift, that stuff has sort of died down a little bit. I wonder what's the latest?
I don't know. She wasn't at the last one, although they did play in Germany, so I don't know if she's going to fly across the pond for that one.
Yeah, she's already her jet is being tracked by one of those, Elon Musk's jet. There's like one of those Twitter accounts, or Twitter took it down because he's a fucking baby. But Taylor Swift's jet is also one of those that's being tracked. Like she's going all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
it last 2 games she has not been in attendance, and my fantasy team really took a hit.
he needs the high school thing of like you need your girl there, and like having your juice. It gives you for sure a lot of juice.
And I'm sure Patrick's like, Mahomes is like, I gotta give them.
Yeah, gotta sling it to him a little bit, boost his stats.
He's playing in front of his lady.
I like it. Yeah, Mahomes knows what's up. He knows what's going on. And to round out the football talk, I see Aaron Rodgers is being very cryptic about his return. He's acting like maybe he's
a couple of weeks is what I think he tried to say to
weeks.
somebody. We'll see. That's Achilles.
If you're on the defense, you're gonna go just savage towards that leg. I would just be like a fucking rabid dog.
He's not really scrambling because he would scramble around. That's the one thing. Like when they're hurt like that, he drops back to pass. You know where he's gonna be because he ain't moving around.
And he's got like you just look at a sock. It looks like he has a fucking club foot all of a sudden. He's got so many braces and tapes on there and everything. That's for sure. What's happening on that front. But him coming back, is that going to save the Jets? Is it going to inject anything into them? What's the Cerny take?
I think it will. Their defense is good. Their defense is really good. Their offense is horrible. Now, Zach Wilson, who's the quarterback right now, he's not great. But his offensive line is horrendous too. So I feel bad for him sometimes. He's snaps the ball. He's under duress. Like
2 seconds. He's like fucking. Well, that's not going to do Aaron Rodgers any favors.
No, that's the thing. So it's like Aaron Rodgers is just a little better at like
dealing with
and reads and stuff like that. Because I was watching the Manning cast this last Monday, and he was kind of talking about Zach Wilson, and you got to look at this, and he was kind of talking to him kind of like a coach would. I would he's going to his check down too early, and things that Aaron Rodgers would he wouldn't do because he's been in the league for
a million years,
15 years, whatever the fuck.
Was that the one with the Arnold was on?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw his donkey. Arnold has like donkeys.
He had a donkey on, and then he said he'll be right back, and he never came back. And and then he's like, I feel I was lied to. I was just lied to. He said he'd be back. He's not.
Did he give the "I'll be back" and then he just never came back?
Yeah, he's not gonna be back or whatever. Dude, never came back on. I was like, okay, well.
That's pretty good. I know Arnold just has a book. He had a book coming out, so it's probably what he's on that too. He's about that grind. Book,
I do enjoy the
book promotion.
That's my Monday. That's my Monday over Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I'll if Manning cast is on, I'm watching them.
Okay, good to know the Manning cast. And then, is there any other NFL alums doing some sort of their own casting thing? Is that Pat McCaffrey character do that? He's on College Game Day. I've seen him around there.
Yeah, he broke a deal with ESPN. So. The Dana Staffboy agrees. The show is great. It's not as good when it's on ESPN because he has the FCC to kind of,
Oh, what's it on? He just streams it?
He had his own, whatever it was, his own
channel.
Yeah, and now he signed a deal with ESPN, so he does a show on ESPN too.
Oh, he was just doing his own podcast.
Yeah.
He had no FCC to thing, and now he has to curtail his language and topics,
which is that's part of his his allure.
Takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, his language was had me roaring sometimes.
Yeah. He would have there was some good ones. I think one of my favorite clips from that show is some like fucking 8-year-old kid called in. He's like, should he be in school?
What's up,
He was
Pat
just going on to
McAfee?
work and he's like, fuck the, and they're like, oh, lost. Made me so happy.
You're an inspiration.
Although his, being a fellow broadcasters ourselves, Cerny, his broadcasting stance is, it hurts me looking at it. Like he's kind of like this hunched over.
Yeah,
He's a very animated broadcaster. So he's moving and shaking, but like he's kind of like hunched over at his desk a lot. It like hurts my back just looking at it. But
he is.
Who am I to
he
say?
is. Yeah, he does a whole. But he knows the WWE side. He had it going on. He's Hot Topic.
Yeah, but it's got some of that ESPN money after they cut like Steve Young loose and shit. So they're in a better place.
He signed a good. I can't remember the details of the
Fat Cash.
It was Fat Cash.
Nice. Well, we're hoping to get one of those. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, podcasting is one of those things like, hey, what if someone said you could make tons of money just doing this? I'd be like, yeah, it's a pretty awesome gig.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing to do. So
just sitting around talking, shoot the shit.
yeah. Well, if you want to give us money, email us and we'll send you a hat at the very least.
chipandcernshow@gmail.com.
I did send a hat out the other day. I had been negligent on sending that out, but I have remedied that. But
Someone
you have
requested a
a
hat?
personally, a personal
I was like,
personal
I didn't
request,
see
not through traditional channels, which is the email address.
I was like, oh, I missed it.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, we get one email and it flew under the radar on us. We did have someone email us. Now we thought again, the communication's so infrequent. We think everything is our friends trying out to fucking get our goat.
Yeah.
But they just said, I want a hat, and they just put their address in. And then we asked, we're like, it's on the way. Are you real? Are you a friend? And they just never responded. And I was like, respect.
Okay.
I'm happy to send it. So if that's your situation, shoot us your address, say, give me hat, and we'll make it happen. There's a couple left. So, but that's it for this week. Until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.